You've got to go at 100 miles an hour. It's passion, it's energy, it's all of those things that you need to bring to the table. And if you don't have that passion and you don't have that energy, go and work for someone.
Swazi, a maker, started building relationships with customers directly, reinventing themselves regardless of the fact that a town like Levin was decimated. I want to know more, and I'm sure you want to.
20 odd years ago, I was a trapper who lived in the mountains, and the skin market crashed. And I guess the one thing that I was an expert at was getting wet and cold. And then, I would make gear for myself. My buddies, they'd be looking at it and feeling it and they'd saying, you have to make me one of those, Hughesy. I want one just like that, because I'm cold and I see you're still warm. And so that's really how a lot of the demand came, me being a guinea pig and testing it. And still to this day, 22 years on, that's my role. I'm Swazi's worst customer, This doesn't work, or if that's too short, I'm going to be the one customer that is making the most noise. Levin in New Zealand, it's a tiny little provincial town. When I arrived here, this was the apparel centre of New Zealand. But now, sadly enough, we're actually one of the very last clothing manufacturers, not just here in Levin, but in New Zealand. Thousands of people had jobs here. There were so many plants producing, shirts, pants, blouses, everything. All of their manufacturing was going offshore. But we were in a niche market. And so we were able to take people and to retrain them, and we had a key driver, a key focus, and that was make gear that works, that really works, and add value to what we do here, add value to the fabric with our expertise and how do you stay dry, how do you stay warm, and then create something that people get and they say, wow, this is different.
So it's all about fabrics.
The fabrics come from all over the place. Germany comes from the US, Thailand, just come back from a mill, and we're developing a fabric. There's nothing like it, and I just know, man, this is going to be pretty cool stuff.
So it's not just about hunting, it's also about safety, and it's also about just good quality clothing, period.
Yep. And some, like from a design aspect, some of the gear we make, chopper pilots who over here are spraying or they're doing frost control. And so they have the doors off the machine and they get bloody cold, almost hypothermic. So we developed the sky suit, and they say now they can stay up there much longer because they're not cold.
Hunter, trapper, high-tech suit designer, this is amazing.
I think pride in what you do and pride in what you create is a huge part of everything. To be able to stand back and to look at it and say, I've done the absolute best I can, to get this product this far. Every person here who makes a product, their name goes in that product. So they put proudly made by Tracy, and that goes onto the garment. And so people all around the world, they send us emails and letters and they just say, thank you, Tracy, for making my garment. It's working wonderfully well. It's people. People are the most important thing. We say he tangata, which means it's people.
A lot of people in our industry, or the industry that's left, need to pride themselves and know that they are craftsmen or craftswomen, because it is about what we do and what we're proud of doing, making a garment that will help people survive.
Hey Stace.
Good morning, Davey.
Good morning.
Howdy.
Howdy.
So it's probably one of the most important parts of making a garment is to make sure that it's waterproof.
Yes.
Put thousands of holes into the garment, so we have to seal all of those holes.
I enjoy making actually one of the best clothing in the world. It's like me, I'm also made in New Zealand. Well, I started when I was 16 years old. It's a good skill. I mean, like people say, oh, make clothes, It is, it does take skill to make it. The ladies that I work with, love them all. They are part of your family, inside and outside of work.
Well, it's like a family here. I wouldn't want to be making a product that people are like, oh, that's crap. You wear it for a week and it falls apart, I
even pull strangers on the street, and I just saw, because you can bring clothes into repair, he had a little hole on his shirt, Didn't know him from bar of soap, and I said, my name was Stacey Jane, I work at Swazi, so if you want to come down I can repair that for you for free.
You buy from like other shops, and I look at the work, and I pull it, and I think, oh no, that's going to fall apart, I'm not buying that. Or else I'll take it home and I'll go over it with my machine. We have a lot of Swazi at home now.
These markers get printed off and they have a mini marker on there as well.
Which are your patterns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so then the fabric gets laid out on this paper which has got a lot of holes in it, and then we have blowers underneath the table so that just two guys can move a lay. While the pattern is on top of the fabric that's being cut, it doesn't need to be there. But when it comes through to the next stage, which is the bundling, because the pattern's here, it tells you what garment, what size. And so it makes bundling so much easier. So what have they been cutting here? So these are bush shirts. It can come through and Stevie can put it all into a bundle, and she'll put all of the trims that go with each of those bundles. Everything goes from here onto the production floor.
How long does it take to learn to do some good stitching here?
To get to the proficiency that we require, it's 3 years.
You can do that?
No. No, not at all. They get formal qualifications as they go along the step as well. It's a craft, and it'll take you 3 years to get to a level where you will be able to make high quality outdoor clothing. To really build a brand, you can do it on two things, I think. The first is integrity, and the second one is authenticity. It has to be real. It has to be real. All the marketing and advertising, crap that you want to stick around it is meaningless if the product doesn't actually stack up.
We tell a story, and we have a great storyteller as Davey. That's how we sell our product.
I left New Zealand when I was 18, and I went and worked in the Highlands in Scotland and Africa, and I went to North America. So I got to see, a little bit about trapping and hunting in those countries. So we said, I'll become a face of the brand, and I'll talk about what it is that we do and how we do it. And for the first year or two I struggled with being in the limelight, if you like, but I realised that without that point of difference, without me saying, look at all the crazy stuff I go and do and I come back alive because this gear works, without doing that, our brand would be the same as everyone else's. I guess my job gets me to all corners of the globe, and one of the good things about that is I get to meet people in those countries and I get to see what it is they require for their environment. I go to Canada quite a lot. Every time I'm hunting up there, my buddies do not let me come home with my clothes. They say, you ain't taking that, Kiwi. This is one of the greatest outdoor countries in the world, Canada. Just can't you go and get this stuff? And they say, no, because so much of our hunting gear now comes from the Far East, and it's just not made the way that you guys make your gear. People fall in love with our product. It becomes, their favourite garment, their favourite coat, and all things basically in the end wear out. And when it wears out, they get so sad, But then we can replace it with something maybe even a little bit better. I think the world is changing. The younger generation, they want to know where things come from, who made them and what conditions they were made in. Because it is an internet-based company now, people, they don't want to wait too long. So where's Swazi going out to today? Kazakhstan or Mongolia to Russia? And it's just like, oh, that's cool, man. It's getting out there. Last year, 6 couples that we know of got married wearing their Swazi. I know of 2 people who were buried with their Swazi gear. And then I realised, we don't own this brand anymore. Our customers own this brand, and we are nothing but guardians of the brand. Swazi is a tool to make a better world. You only have to change one thing, one small thing, and you change the world. Because if there is no change, there is no opportunity. My life and this business was created around change. The skin market crashed. So there had to be an opportunity in there. And I think, if you were to start a business, you've got to be open to change. You've got to embrace opportunity and don't slow down. 100 miles an hour, you've got to go at 100 miles an hour. It's passion, it's energy, it's all of those things that you need to bring to the table. And if you don't have that passion and you don't have that energy, go and work for someone. I don't go to work, I come and play, and I love it.
You too can become part of this journey. Come help us. Let's celebrate these businesses together. Donate to our site, www.forwardtofavor.com, and we will bring you more of these exciting programs.